Okay, what language are we going to use mostly? 我们用 both Chinese and English. Okay, so welcome everybody to our lecture this evening by Professor Du Aming from Dharma Drum Buddhist College, Dharma Drum University, Dharma Drum Mountain in Taiwan. Professor Du is here to give us a hands-on workshop, a laboratory in how to use the CBETA digital Tripitaka. The title is Entering the Digital Sea of the Dharma Treasury. 中文怎么说呢？入数码大海，法藏深入经藏，深入数码藏，智慧如海。So I'd like to just briefly introduce Professor Du to those of you who don't know him, although he has been our neighbor here in Berkeley now for a month plus with Mrs. Du, and it's been wonderful to renew our friendship and also to learn so much from him. Years ago, people had the dream of putting the Buddhist wisdom on a computer, and it was quite a challenge, and it had never been, nothing like it had been done before. So the Chinese Buddhist Electronic Text Association rose to the challenge, and although there were many different representatives from universities around the world, from Buddhist organizations around the world, it was Fa Gushan and Master Sheng Yen and his disciples who really seemed to Shenru Jingzang, to really do the work. And particularly our Dharma sister Heng Qing Fa Shi, and also in Taiwan, Dharma Master Hui Min and Professor Du were instrumental in finding overcoming all the obstacles to getting the Tripitaka online. And they succeeded, and I was there when Professor Lou Lancaster held in his hands for the press, it made the news, the San Francisco Chronicle, and holding a CD and saying, "Here is the Tripitaka." And most people didn't even blink because, what's the Tripitaka? They had no idea, but it must have been great, you know. They don't know what the Tripitaka is, and why was it hard to get it on the CD? Well, believe me, it was a monumental challenge, and they accomplished it with all kinds of shanchao fangbian, skillful, expedient means, like tagging the text so it could be searched, getting it all there, and then gradually, bit by bit, expanding. And this is the current one, and I think I have received 12 of these over the years. How many altogether issued in this every year? So by now already 14, yeah. And they have distributed this free of charge around the world, which is another thing to notice, that they could have easily owned it, put a trademark on it, and sold it, but they didn't. They made it open source, which is a great gift to the world. And I think that is really called Gongde Wuliang, to make the results of their scholarship free and available. So Professor Du has agreed tonight to show us the intricacies, the techniques, the nooks and the crannies, the corners and the peaks of the CBETA digital Tripitaka, and he's knows it inside out because he designed it. So we're really honored to have him here, and I don't think I'll try to say what I said in Chinese, but anyway, 非常欢迎各位，今天晚上有请杜阿明教授、杜老师来给我们分享他的最清楚这个行家的知识，对于这个CBETA Tripitaka。我不全部翻译，大家比较了解啊。不过呢，如果不是杜老师，还有那个恒庆法师、慧敏法师，这个CBETA可能很慢，甚至于可能没有了。所以呢，他呢能今天晚上给我们这个 hands-on 一个解释呢，那是非常非常难得了。所以我们就恭请杜老师现在给我们开始。
So thank you very much, Venerable Hanshu, and for giving me this opportunity to introduce CBETA here. And actually, every time when I came to Berkeley, then I always come here. It's kind of back home, and back home. And I always enjoy to share the new CBETA with you here. And it's almost 5 years, so I think there must be something change in CBETA. and probably the users are expecting some new functions. So I'm going to introduce you some new functions from the CBETA course. I know most of you know CBETA well, and even some of you are using CBETA every day. And what I'm going to show you is that since here and YC and Venerable Henshu actually give me 3 topics, and we are going to focus today is CBETA's function and how to use it, with a little bit time to introduce Buddhist digital resources developed in our school also. And of course, in this talk or this hands-on, actually we will cover a little bit of history of the Tripitaka and the contents of the Tripitaka also. But we will focus this on the other days. And today's schedule is supposed to be like this. The first 30 minutes, I will give you a little bit brief introduction of the CBETA. And the next 60 minutes, then we will have your hands-on. And the first 30 minutes, probably we're going to use the guide practice. So I will show you how to do the functions step by step. And the other 30 minutes, then you will have your own free practice. Then at the end, we have the discussion. So here's the schedule for tonight. And actually, the one you got is the newest CBETA collection, although it was version 2011. Because in 2012, we changed our publish. We don't publish CD this year, and I will let you know the reason later. So the one you get actually is the newest CD, because every time people ask me, I haven't received 2012. Actually, there's no 2012 CD this year. And in 2007, that was my last time visit here. And for most people, they know in 2007, we finished Taisho and Zogzog. That means, those 2 bookshelves on that Buddha Hall that, we finished most of them and put them in a CD. Now, what's next? After this 2007, actually we begin to add in new material. As you can see from this cover, we have a Taisho Tripitaka, then we have Zogzog in Chinese we say Xu Zhang Jing, and we also have Jiaxing Zhang, Jiaxing Kenlong. And besides this, actually we go over all the 25 catalogs in the Chinese history, Chinese Buddhist history. Then we have the other 100 texts, 972 Zhen included in this Tripitaka. Not only this, actually we go out of this Tripitaka, we try to find texts are not included in the Tripitaka. So we finish volume 1 to 9 that it contain a lot of materials from Dunfang. And also we try to find that sutras or passages from the official histories. That means 正史, official histories. And we copy a lot of material from there also. Besides this, we also finish that robin, stone robins from northern dynasties. So from this content, then you will see actually there are different versions compared to 2007 here or 2008. That was our 10 years anniversary. And in 10 years, we finished Zogzog and Tripitaka Taisho. Then that means every 5 years we finish one Tripitaka. But actually, before finishing this Zogzog, we try to think of, okay, what's next? What should we do after we finish these 2 Tripitakas? Then we try to go over all those Tripitakas, then try to make a most complete collection of Chinese sutras. So for the past at least almost 10 years, I spent a lot of time, and with my group, of course, then we spent a lot of time in doing the research and trying to find all the sutras from different Tripitakas. So the one you have in your computer now is not only Taisho, and Zogzog. And so we have to go over all those the histories of those Tripitakas. And as you can see from this chart, actually this chart is provided by Louis Lacaste. And we can see so many that Tripitakas available on the world. And what we have done is we go over most of those materials if we can find, and try to take out all those catalogs and to see what's included in our in CBETA or not. If not, then we will take them all into our system. We are not going to talk this detail today, but if we have time next time, then I will show you how we develop this. So it means at least we go over 防三十经、开宝藏、丛林藏、披露藏、圆觉经、造成经藏 to the modern ones. So that was what we are doing after finish these two main Tripitakas. Then we go over all these sutras and make it into like this kind of content. So in CBETA proper, you will the first thing you face is you have to choose your own catalog, because we provide different catalogs in this CD or in CBETA's function. We have CBETA's catalog, we have Taisho or Zogzog or Jiaxin Zang or other collections, something like Jin Zang, Zhonghua Zang or Fangsan Sijun, etc. And this is a very complete collection in this CD. And the content of this, actually, we go over from Indian Tripitaka to Chinese Tripitaka. So we said Hindu Zhuansu Bu and Zhongguo Zhuansu Bu. So that means we have both Chinese and India's collection. Of course, the Indian translate into Chinese. And we go from Ahan Benyuan border of Huayan Baoji Niaban. So it is a complete set of those sutras. And we are not only go over the whole history of Chinese Tripitaka, and also in doing this sutra, actually is not provided by a small group of CBETA. It was a kind of work for many people around the world. And that was, I think it's 2003 that we have a kind of a message that we are very happy to receive 10,000 pages from web. And so that means many people around the world, as long as they understand Chinese, then they will try to help us to proofread, sometimes even to input the sutras for us. So the one you have in your computer, actually you are connected to at least thousands and thousands of people's contribution. And you are not only connected to their mind, their efforts, you also connect to the whole history of Chinese Buddhism, because it contains a very complete sutras in this new version there now. So, I don't know how you feel, but every time I was feel very, very grateful whenever I open CBETA, because I'm not only connected to the history, I also connected to the people around the world. Okay. So now it comes to the reason why we don't publish that 2012, because time's changing. And years ago that we published that CDs, because in different a lot of places they cannot get they cannot connect to the internet, especially in mainland China. I think they have problem in connecting to the internet. So we have to publish a CD and to mail to them. But no, I think for most of people around the world, they can get connected into the internet very easily. So like some of you, when you came here today, then you just begin to download these versions from the web, and it seems work quite well here. So I'm very happy to see that. Actually, we never tried that in Taiwan, so it's a good chance for me, to see how you download these new versions. So we have at least 5 versions. That's our new release this year. We have we call JCB Reader. J means Java. So that's Java edition for the CD reader. So it's exactly the same like this CD you copy into your computer. So it's a new development. Then the other one is we have a EPUB for electronic books. So you can download that into your own notebook or your PC. Then the third one is online for your how do you say, iPhone or Android. Yeah. iPad. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. 线上 this is mobile edition. Then the other thing, the number 5 is we have the web one, so you can read on the web. So it is a little bit different from years ago that every year we publish CD. But still, I know that some of the users, they are still waiting for the CD. So we decided that probably after 2 years, like we have a more complete one, then we still will publish new CD along with these different versions.
Is there a thought to publish an app through the Mac Store?
Mm-hmm.
One app?
That's a problem that we don't have that kind of skill in our group in Taiwan, especially for our group. Now we try very hard to do that, but still, what we can do is online version and for online or offline, but still we cannot make a CD. But hope in the future we will find someone that we can help us, especially someone like you here, you can help us to do that. Then probably that would be easy, a lot easier for us. So, you log into www.cbeta.org, then you can find there's 4 different kind of versions that you can download. And some of you have tried that successfully, and you are online now. You still have the time to download that, because we're still going over for a few minutes. No matter which edition you use, Windows, Mac, or Linux, and that it looks almost the same. So the function is the same, and the service is the same too. For the EPUB, it's a little bit different, but you can download that and try to use it. And we even have search engine for the EPUB. So you can also download this to search that ebooks. The other thing is for the mobile edition. Then usually I have the mobile edition with me. It's very easy to read, but it's not really very easy to search, because the function is not so good. But at least you have a lot of material go with you every day, and it's quite easy to read the sutras, so just to refer to it. And that was one very good question that Brother Hanshu asked me how many CDs we have printed out. Actually, I have no idea, because sometimes in 1 year we print 1 or 2 different versions at the beginning of the first few years. As you can see, for those, sometimes we try our best to publish it as long as we correct enough. I know many people are waiting for the sutras to come out. So at the beginning, we try to publish it, every half a year. Then later on, we have enough quality that we think, okay, 1 year is good enough for people to use. So we keep them for publishing and every year later. And yeah, I'm very proud of this, because never in the history of printed Tripitaka have been printed so many sutras. We have sent out, that's a store one, that's a lot, 100, 200, 120, yeah, 120,000, and that means, never in the history have been published so many CDs, unless it's only CD, not included downloads from the web. So I think this is going to be a new age for the Buddhists. So if you have a CD, then you will see, there's installation. Then you can download or install that CBETA reader and many other things here. the English translations here also. So you can choose either Chinese, Hanwen, or English. And it includes, Taisho, also Jiaxin Zhang, Jingzhang, everything there. So it means, that's a lot of sutras in this city, And if you are not only reading the sutra, you also need to use the dictionary. Now, actually, in this city, or in our web also, there's a golden dick included in there. So, this golden dick, you can use it as a Buddhist dictionary, and you can also read while reading the sutra and use it as a kind of a reference. So you can check the character you are reading very easily, such as, you click Du Wuji, and the dictionary comes out and tell you what is Du Wuji means, and the English one or the Sanskrit, then it's all in there. So if you have this in your city, then will be very easy. Not city, install into your PC. Then this is the how do you say the CB reader. So how it look like this. So we have all the functions on the CB reader, and I think most of you know that. But probably today I will focus a little bit on this, then later on I will show you how to do this. We have new search functions here. This function is that you can choose different groups of the sutra, and not only different group, you can choose different sutras also. So, cause before once you search that the CD, then you have to go over all the CD. Then comes out probably is more than 500. That's too much for you. And since you are going to focus on certain sutras, then you can pick up those sutras you needed. Then there will be focus on the sutras you needed, and just search for Bulei or Kanban, or different kind of options here. And this is the new function we have. That's the one you pick up. And the other thing is that you can also search for that whole sutra catalog. If you want to know a certain sutra has been appeared in certain places, in certain period of time, or in certain different Tripitakas, then you can search for this function. Here is the example for if you search for Longsu, Nagarjuna, then in this side, then you search the whole sutras that was written by Nagarjuna. Then the other side, if you click on the small box there, that comes out in the Chinese history. There's Nagarjuna's works contained in different kind of different Tripitakas. So that shows you all those information there. So that will be easier for you to do a certain kind of research or finding the material you need. The other thing is synonyms. For us, if we search Pusa, then usually computer is not clever. He just only search Pusa for us. But Pusa actually has many meanings, many translations. So sometimes translate into Kaisi, sometimes translate into Da An Wei, San An Wei, Toroni, and etc. All different kinds of names. Like you can click the ones you need, not just only Pusa. Sometimes we don't even how to use the correct names. Then you can choose from here to pick up the terms you need. So that means you are not only search for Pusa itself, actually you are search for different kind of translation. So this is kind of help. Now that's for the synonyms 同义词. Besides that, actually we still have a lot of digital archives available on web, and to help us to use this CBETA or to read the Tripitaka. This is a whole collection of this digital archive. And I will show you a little bit. The first one we're going to see is, Jinglu. Jinglu is the one after, actually it's before we finish Zog Show, then we spent almost 5 years in doing research for going over that sutras. So in here you can see we have, Xianzang Lu and the Gujing Lu. And what I mean Xianzang Lu here is that we still can see the collections of the Tripitakas. So still preserved so far, like we call it Xianzang Lu. Then Gujing Lu means we have the catalog, but we cannot see that the Tripitaka or the whole collection now, so we call it Gujing Lu. So we have to go over all these materials and try to find out all those sutras. And so we go over from Fangshan Sijing to Song Dynasty, Jing Dynasty, until modern ones. So that's how we go over that. From here, you can search all the sutras and knowing in which period or which sutra then we have a certain text has been translated or has been kept, and that keeps all those history of that, all the records. So let me see. Then here is a demo, so you can click here and shows you how to use this. So if you have time later, then you can follow this demo and to do how to search for this. And this is not only go over the Chinese Tripitaka. Actually, we try to link to Pali, Sanskrit, Tibetan, and some of the English ones. So we try to go over all the Chinese ones and cross with different kind of canon language, Buddhist languages. So this is what we contain in here. Then the other things we have the iSearch, that's integrated search of those all the digital archives we have in our school. Then we have authority database also. Now I will show you how we do this. Okay. So actually, if you are doing, let me see. Doing Gaosheng Zhuan, then we already finished all the Gaosheng Zhuans. So you can type the monk's name and try to find out what kind of experience or what kind of social network he has. So from this Gaosheng Zhuan, then you can have all his background and bibliography, and the people that he was connected with or working with. We have the location here also.
Have you all seen this before? Do you know what's going on? This is the integration with Google Earth. So
Yeah.
they've taken the Gaosheng Zhuan, the biographies of the monks, and mapped them out according to the places mentioned in the biographies, and found them now using modern satellite, scoping to find out where that place would be right now and where it was in history.
And we mark up all those terms. We have the person names, time, and the place. So whenever you meet a person, you just click a person's. We meet a person name. You just click here, then it will show you who is he, what period he was born, and is a brief introduction there. Then you can connect to the authority database also. Yeah, it's open to public. Yeah, that's very useful, I think. So you can read Gaosheng Zhuan, and at the same time you have a very good tool, to help you to go over and shows you where he was traveling and what kind of friend he was making and all those information. So the other one is the social network. So
they talk about original face. This could be the original Facebook.
yeah, that's right. So if we choose Liang Gaosheng Zhuang from the beginning, then we will see there's some I Jing Si, who translate the sutras. Then we'll see so many I Jing Si here. And if we click Jomo Rose, probably you know them, you know him very well. He's Kumarajiva. And you see he has very good connection with so many people at his period of time. Then if we click to anyone here, then it will show you, okay, this is Li Guang. That means he has very good connection with the emperor. And shows your Li Guang's database. Then anyone, let's see, Yao Xing or Shen Rui, probably you know him. Shen Rui is one of his disciples. Then from here, then you see he is not only connected to Shen Rui also connected to the other person, to Shen Zhao and to Yao Xing. And you can also go from here to search from this authority database. What we mean authority database is we try to go over all the Chinese Buddhist history to pick up all the names, place, and time, and to make a complete database. So while doing your translation or doing your own research, and you can tap in here and to see what material we can see from here. Because we were checking Shen Rui, so it shows Shen Rui's sense here. And actually, before today, I tried to search for Dejing course. I know some of you probably is reading Dejing Han San, right?
Yes.
So
Friday night, Master Han Shan.
so it shows you there's several people, 7 people in the history that called Dejing, but we'll come to Dejing, Han San Dejing. That shows all his biography here, and that connected to where he was buried, his Yuanji, where in Nirvana, linked to the place. You can check where it is. And shows that the materials here also.
Does it mention his Roshan?
Let me see.
Yuanji Yu
Mm-hmm.
Si Nei Qing You Zhi Tian.
是 Fei, because his place was in Caoxi, right? But didn't mention that. Okay. Yes.
All of these information is all from the Tripitaka, or you said that you guys look outside of the CBETA database, and you do it manually?
Yes. Actually, that's our another project. This project was, we not only took the material from CBETA, we also took the material from different books and different reference. So try to put them together, as complete as possible. So even we have the students to check all those books he has written, and the mountain research papers here also. So it's a quite a great reference for people who study that. We even has links to Gaosheng Zhuang and what we call gazetteer. Gazetteer is Fo Si Zi. Yeah.
They're encyclopedias about the mountains, about the monasteries, called gazetteers.
In Chinese we say Fo Si Zi, and we finish a lot of Fo Si Zi also. So you can click from here and to go to the Fo Si Zi to read, which places he has been stayed there, or what kind of activity he has done there.
Those are really detailed. They'll say, it is this year, and Master Han Shan Dejing came by and left this inscription on the wall when he left, and here's what he wrote. It's that detail in the gazetteers.
Yeah, and
This year the monastery burned down, and we lost the bell tower, and all the details about the monastery day to day are in the gazetteers.
okay, so from here, then you can read the Fo Si Zi, and then we have the text and the original text and the type-in text also. Then from here you can link it to another database. So actually it's very easy for us to make a cross-reference while reading the CBETA. So here's some of the tools. Probably if we have time later today that we can do that. So we call it a social network. And our idea is to combine all these things together. So we have the authority database, and we try to link to CBETA. We try to link to different kind of projects, and for people to use it as convenient as possible. Okay, so that was about what I will show you. What we have not only in a CBETA CD. Actually, you can connect to many different kind of tools. Okay. So we'll come back to CBETA now. And I think most of you know CBETA quite well, right? So I will try to give a very brief introduction of those functions. And if you still have questions, then you can ask me later. And I will begin with the guide practice first. Usually when you open CBETA, it will be like this. But be careful is that there's a sumu or here. These two are the same. So if you click here, then you can choose different kind of, what we say sumu is because in the library there was called sumu, but actually for Chinese, Buddhist, I think we can call Jinglu. That's a Buddhist Tripitaka catalog. And here you can choose different kind of Jinglu. That's a CBETA's Jinglu or Taisho by volume, Taisho by section or 部类, by the volumes, and Zogzog by 册数, by volumes also, and 加心藏 and the other ones. Okay, so once you choose that, then they will fix on your screen when you turn over next time. Sometimes people confuse that, because in case they choose this Ahan Bu, then just come out this little here, and then if you turn this off, then when next time you turn on it, then still appear the Ahan Bu, because it stick on how you choose last time, the last time. And I heard of this kind of question quite often, because people they just click it by mistake and they don't know how to go to put it back. Because so for most of us, I think you have to know the first is know where to choose it. So usually I myself will choose CBETA, so it is kind of complete one. But for you, if you only want to choose, want to study Taisho, then you can choose Taisho here, so you don't have to the whole complete one. So if you choose CBETA, then it comes back to the CBETA, and whenever you close it, the next time you turn it on, then still appear the same. So I think that's the first question I ever met. I mean, the most asked questions I ever met. Then next one is, when you are reading a sutra and you are sure you are not going to search for this this function, you're just trying to read it. Then you can turn off this screen and make it a little bit bigger. So just turn that off. So this means I don't need those functions. I'm not going to search that. I'm going to use the other sutras. So just click here and make it a little bit larger. Then next one, the red arrow is for the volumes. So I'm going to go to the next volume. So click here and comes to the next volume. And then this goes to the first volume. Then there's no volume, so that told you this is the first volume. Okay. Then the blue one is next page, because if I have used the first page, then I can click here for next page, so that will be easier. Then since I only turn on 2 pages, so there's only 2 pages here, so I cannot go to the next one. Then I will come back to this later. Okay, this just refresh. Okay. This is previous page and the next page, and in the sutra we always call juan. Actually, juan in Chinese is kind of scroll. And for my experience, each juan is about 10,000 words, 10,000 characters. Because they try to keep in a certain amount and easier to control those. So they spread that and cut it to about around 10,000 characters and for a juan. So that's how they do that in the ancient times. Yes.
I think the page means that the window is just one.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. So that's the page. I just opened this, so I go back to the previous page, and then this is the next page. Yes, that's right. So not a page of the sutra. Yes. And this is quite a useful one, because usually while reading the Tripitaka, usually we don't just only read one. So probably you will read several Tripitakas. So you can use this pin to ping it. As long as you ping it, that means if you don't ping it, that means I'm going to read the second one. This will recover the first one, so you cannot find the first one. You only read the second one. But since I'm going to use the first one, then I ping it here. Then the next one, I'll ping it, and the third one, then ping it. So that means you have these three. You have these three sutras, and you can read them at the same time. You don't read those them, and it's very convenient for doing comparison. So I'm going to compare this one with the next sutra. Now I can, click here then to compare all these different sutras, and to see if there's any difference between these three ones. So just pick it, and if you don't need to just let me see, close it. Then you don't need all of them, but if you need them, just keep it. And if you use this very, very often, then we have another function is bookmark, 书签. Then 书签 means you can bookmark that, and the next time if you close it and turn it on again, then still we have this bookmark for you. Just like last time we were doing that 华严经翻译 with verbal 韩史. Then I try to bookmark these three books. One is then I have the 音译 with me, and I have the 八十华严, and also have this sutra. So that means you have the three at the same time. Then once you open it, then bookmark it, then bookmark it.
Close it and they'll pop up again.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, since I make a bookmark, that means it's there already.
How many bookmarks total are you allowed? 可以定了多少?
I never count that, but since it's a lot.
A lot. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I tried to do that by myself once. I tried to do my whole section of Tripitaka, because as you understand that we have 中观 Madhyamika, we have Yuchie, Yogacara, but there's no Tathagata section. So I do myself to put all the Tathagata sutras together, and it seems it allows me to put a lot of bookmarks here.
Could I ask a specific question?
Yes.
Could you go to the Yecha, the number one that you bookmarked,
Yes.
and then open it up, and go down to Kumbanda, Fuyo, Jopancha, our next one. And there are many asterisks in the Kumbandas. And
Always right.
let's see. Yes.
Okay.
Mine has here. Let me see.
Okay, that's a footnote.
Those are footnotes. Good.
That's the
I thought
footnote.
so.
Okay.
Do you have them here?
Yeah, sure.
Can you show me how to access them? And where do you go to find them?
Okay, the bookmarks, let me see.
I'm in just the volume.
You know, I will go back to this later, but I will let you know. You know, this can you can choose what kind of page you like to see. So you like to see those with everything in there, right? Just click this, then we'll show you all those material here.
In Mac, it's called the invisibles. You see all the invisibles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the invisibles. And if you want to use this bookmark, this footnote, I mean, then just click here and see the footnotes
And
here.
Takes you down. Okay.
Yeah, then from here, then you know which bookmark is. And you know, in Taisho, if they repeat the same bookmark, they don't repeat the numbers. They just with how do you say this mark?
Marks. Yeah.
Just make a mark here. That means, you know, this goes back to the same one. But when if you ever have a chance to read a paper edition, then you will find out it's very difficult to find back from later pages, because you know let repeat again, but still use this mark, but you don't know which number it goes to. So we have to spend all the time and to bookmark all this to make it a markup. Then just only one click, then you know it goes back to number 3. Okay. So that will be easier for people to use.
I see.
Yeah. So you know this is all belong to number 3. So last time I have Bas Hua Yan, and I have the commentary Su Chao, and I have the Yin Yi, you know, the meaning of that the terms. So that means at the same time I can use these three sutras at the same time. Though. One is reading the original text, then the other one is reading the commentary, then the third one is reading actually this reference tools. So I have these 3 at the same time. Then you can compare them. You can use something like this. So I would like to read this at a time, or I will change that. So this is the function that probably is quite useful while you're doing several sutras at one time. Okay, so now we will also come back to the search engine here. In this search engine, actually, we hidden a lot of information in here, but probably sometimes people don't know how to use it. The first one is we have a 指定检索范围. That means, you know, you can pick up that certain sutra or certain corrections that you would like to see. This comes out these selections here. Then you can select 部类. That means, you know, the whole collection of this sutra. If I only want to check Ahanbu, then I click Ahanbu here. Or you prefer only for Fayan, then you click Fayan here. That means the search will not go to the whole Tripitaka, just only search on Fayan. Then that will make it more concise on that. And this is the one I like most, because, you know, for the beginners, even for myself, I think always give me a very hierarchy, a structure of the whole Tripitaka. So you know how the ancient wisdom, they try to combine the sutras together. You know, they divide into 三藏经律论. Now, according to 经律论, they divide into the Hindu 传述部 and the 中国传述部. That means, you know, Indian works and the Chinese works. And, you know, it is very good method for learning this. Once you click it, that you know that's 经, you know, it begins from 阿含本源般若法华华严宝积涅槃 all the way down. Then if you want to know 律, then there's only 律 here, or 论, then let's 论 here. So it's quite a good way in laying that like construction of Tripitaka. And not only this, actually, this makes us to search this Tripitaka easier, because you can focus on that. And that's the one I showed earlier. You only want to search for a certain small sutra or certain sutra, then you can click here and to choose the ones you really need. so it don't go over too much. Because usually, if you find a word, then they will tell you there's too many words. You know. Of course, you say Pusa, then you try to search Pusa, then you tell you there's, I don't know how many, 472,568. So that means a lot to me. So if you more than 500, actually there's no meaning at all, because you have to go over. You don't have the time to go over all of these. So you can limit your search. So that's the place we say you limit your search from certain sutras. Then the other thing is to limit your search only focus on sutra that you are reading. So this is the one that you focus on the sutra you are reading. Then this is the one to search for the Jingmu, the sutras catalog only. Then for people who reading same卷or same section all the time, then actually you don't have to go over to search that again and again, repeat them very often. So you can search, from last result, and that will be save us a lot of time. Then not only this, actually you can save that. You can save this. So once I search this Pusa from Chang'an, then I can save this into my computer. And next time you come back, you can turn on this. Not only save this, actually you can also, this is not a good example because I only limit for Chang'an. If I have different kind of sutras here, then I can pick up the certain sutras I need and save it. So that means you save three sutras at one time. The next time you come back, you go back to the three sutras. Now you don't have to search again and to go over all those. That's kind of waste time. Then the other thing is we have 同义字, that similar. That if you try just like what I say, you research for Pusa. But that in this dictionary will tell you that also you can choose 开示. So let's say we were going to have Pusa and the 开示 together. Still many, but we'll try. So that means in this chapter you will see Pusa. And you will not only see Pusa, you will also see 开示 here. But to me is that once they translate Pusa, probably they won't translate into 开示 in the same sutra. So probably, I don't know, but let's see what kind of 开示 means here. Okay, there's only 开示, only Pusa here, but so that's the question now. Once they translate Pusa, usually they don't translate 开示 at the same sutra, so there's no Pusa and the 开示. But if you only search for 开示, that means there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of terms that translate into 开示 also. So this is one of the functions I think is quite useful, especially if you don't know their translations. Then you can choose. There's so many translations here, and not only the synonyms 同义词, they also have 名相. So many 名相 they have Pusa in there, so save you a lot of time in typing. So you just type Pusa, then you will find out that there's so many different kind of terminologies has the Pusa in there, and if you really search for certain kind of terminology here, 一切菩萨戒, and just click on here. Now I would like to search for 一切菩萨戒. Then you don't have to type, just just click in here. Then it shows you all the Ichie Pusaje here. So that means from one certain term, actually expand your whole word into the Buddhist sutras. Then you don't have to type so many things. Talking about not to type, actually, there's another thing is that if you find out a term you would like to use, something like Ichie, then you just click here. Let's copy and paste. So Ichie comes over here, so you don't even have to type. And I think for foreigners or for who are not very good at key in, that will save you a lot of time. So yeah, that comes out all the Ichie here, especially for those characters are not very easy to type. For this. For the terms it's not easy to type, and you can just copy it and make a search. So that will save you a lot of time in doing this also. Let me see. So comes to this one, that's a quote. That means, if there's some, I'll go back to the, okay, that's the one without page numbers, page reference. So if there's certain pages that I would like to quote, then just copy it and click on in. That means to quote that. Okay, maybe I can use. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's very useful, right?
Scholars are just like weeping when they see it.
So there comes out, the text and the numbers and
With the citation.
yeah, with the citation, everything is in there.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so save us a lot of time, especially once you quote too many, then you forgot where the original is. So save our time. Then for different scholars, then we have a different kind of size. So you can choose from here how you prefer to choose that. So you have a side, sutra's name is in the front, or sutra's name is on the back, like with the footnote or without the footnote. And sample is like this. If I move it, then it will be different. Oh, I don't think it fixed with EndNote. So this is the all those sutras names appear before the text. Then they can also move. Oh, I didn't click that. So move the sutras names to the end. So it depends on what kind of quote you need. And here is another good example here. We have X here, we have Z here, we have R here. That means, for Zogzog Show, Shizang Jing actually there's 3 different editions. The first edition was come out in a box like this. It's a kind of Jingze Zhuang in a box that was made in Mingzi Dynasty. Then later on, they reprint it. So they make it into a modern books. So we have the reprinted one. And the most popular one is by Xin Wenfeng. Xin Wenfeng is kind of a copy of the original ones, but let's just add in the numbers, page numbers there. But in before, of course, all the Chinese sutras, they don't have that page number. Then Xin Wenfeng add in the page numbers, so the scholars begin to use that books. So we have a reprinted one. Then after years, the Japanese that reprint the whole Zogzog Show into the modern ones with 3 columns, just exactly same as Taisho, the same kind of print style. So there's 3 columns. Xin Wenfeng is only 2 columns. And for the oldest one, is only one page, one column. So we try very hard for people, no matter what kind of sutra you have in hand, you can still reference back to the exact pages. So we count all those pages numbers here. So if you have X means that Shi Zhang Jing, the original ones, then no, Shi Zhang Jing means the new printed ones, because that printed here again. Then Zogzogshou means the original ones, R means that Xing Wang's reprinted ones. So you have the 3 reference numbers, and actually if you're going to use only one, you can delete the other 2. So you don't have to save all of this in your reference number. But you prefer to show this to other scholars, then that's going to be very helpful. Because probably in some poor library, they don't have the amount of money to buy the new printed one, then they still keep those old ones, and you still have to trace back to the old editions. So that's the one we do for the Zogzogshou. Okay, let me see, is there important ones that I should do?
Ask simple question.
Sure, please.
How can you increase the font size?
Yes, that's good questions. Let's specially design this for me. My engineer, because I told him I cannot read, it's too small. Even I wear my glasses, it's still too small. So one day, after our discussion, I say, okay, then we can increase our the fonts here. So let me show you again. Just click 设定, as in this Chinese, but you can also from 设定 change your language here. I used to use Chinese though, so I still stick on Chinese. So from here, then you 选择选项设定, right? Then the first one probably is the system. So which database you're going to keep on which file, like you can choose on your own file here. And the next one is the fonts. So with the plus one, that means you plus one number. That was original was 16, right? Then now plus one number here, one font number. So you can enlarge it from whatever you like. And then save it. So I'll go back to. It comes out this big. It's a lot bigger. Okay, so let's look.
It doesn't work.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
Because it's
So
down
small.
Still too small.
What
Mm.
do you call it? It's the menus are really small.
Okay, the menu is.
目录数全 is really small.
Okay. Okay, we will see how can we do that, but I don't think we can enlarge that.
How do I refresh that? But I was wondering if we can enlarge the menu bars.
I don't think we can enlarge that.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we have one function here is to enlarge the characters. Let me see. Here. 工具类. No, I think there's one press, but I never enlarged that. But one press we shows us where. Next CD.
Next CD.
Next.
Not Taiwan.
Oh, next CD. I see it's in here. It's in here, but I will check that later because I never used that. Okay, so that's what I can show you. So you know how to you have a certain page number or the sutra number, you just type in here. The other one is that there's a small book. Then that's the one you can search for all the sutras. That for 25 sutras, let's go over the Chinese Buddhist history, and to see which sutras appear in here. And for my example today is I try to search for Nagarjuna. Then that shows that which sutra contains which Tripitaka contains which sutra. That's all in here. That shows there's there 20 different sutras has this 20 different Tripitakas has this sutra. That shows you which sutra contains which Tripitaka contains what kind of sutra in there. So it's quite useful, I think. Okay. We have this. This is for 选项设定. For this one is to adjust. Oh yeah, let's adjust for that. Okay. The last one is you like to read it 直行, then you can read it just like this. Especially for who's going like to 诵经 or something, then you can choose like that. Okay, I think I will make it smaller. Okay. I think usually 16 is good enough for me. Yeah, it's like this. So it's easier for people to read something. And you don't want to have this mark, you just click here to take out the it will be like this. That's very clear. It's not a good example because there's no punctuation, but sometimes with punctuation that will be easier for us to read. It's interesting. Oh, I took the punctuation out. Yeah, with the punctuation it's easier for us to read. Okay, so I think I will let you to try your own experience here, and if you have any questions, please raise your hands. Then I will be here, and I think Yomin was or Genji was probably will help you also. So yes, yeah, that means good questions. That's for CBETA actually we make some corrections for the mistakes in the original text. But still, for scholars, they would like to see the original ones. They don't trust us, so they can click the O, means the original ones. And if you only want to see the correct ones, then means the correction. Or you can have both. Now, usually I choose both because you see, original mistakes is what, then how we correct it. And actually, whenever we make a correction, we have to go back to the other sutras or the other Tripitakas to check that we will make those reference. We written down all those proof, then they're trustable, I think. But still, for scholars, they sometimes they need to check to the original text. So we have the original ones here also. Then that means the cross with reference footnotes here. Okay.
So, Professor Du has given us the background of what the CBETA contains, and then a quick and brief primer on the controls on the interface. And now he's invited us to launch into it and try to make it work. And raise your hands if you have any questions. Yanin, how many people are online? Do you have a way to tell? Okay, great. 14 people online. That's great. Are they able to type in their questions or? Yeah. Okay, good. So you
There was one question.
Yeah.
Which is there a plain text version like there used to be?
What?
Is there a plain text version? I guess
It's like this now, right?
Yeah.
That's the plain text. Yeah.
there is. Yeah. One thing that occurred to me, Professor Du asked us if we have any questions. who's got a question? Maybe some of the power users. YC, now that you've seen some of the new options, do you have any, you want to ask your questions?
My question is when I do the equivalent search, I don't get the list. I got this all the question mark.
Me too.
You too.
Alright.
And on map it doesn't show.
If that is because I use the pin and Google pin or and is that or maybe I use the Auto tree input in the layout.
I don't think that the input is makes no difference because we use Unicode here, so that all kinds of input methods the same. But I would check your computer later.
Do you think it's because our Windows is not in Chinese? We need
Yes,
a
I think
Chinese window?
that's probably that's your question. That's a problem.
Why we can do the other functions no problem.
Okay, I will check that later.
Yeah.
It's good. Yes.
Is it okay for the online people to read the question and before you do
Okay.
and if you don't mind the rest?
Thank you.
Who else?
So we cannot do this online, right? I mean, through the, we can do not access this detailed research only when you download.
I think part of it you can do that online, right?
On a whole, on partial, right?
I think so, but most of the important functions are online also, because we try our best to copy all the functions into our platforms. So probably you can try that, because I never had a chance to do that. So I'm very happy to learn that from you. Please let me know, what kind of function you cannot find, and I will try to discuss our CBETA group. Yes.
What about all the people that have a Linux installed in the computer?
Yes.
They
Mm.
told me that they have a later to download the dictionary.
Yeah, that's right.
So where I can think of that.
Okay. I think the most easy one is to copy from the CD. Then, if not, then you can click into our web pages. Then our web page will give you all those instructions. Then you can download from that our website.
That's the only Chinese or English?
I think the material has a lot of things. I will show you here. Thank you for that. And let me show you how we use a dictionary.
Anything else on Mac?
You mean running Mac right now with CBETA?
I'm still waiting for.
PC. Believe it or not. What would be fun would be to get it downloaded onto an iPad, because people in the future want to mobile. Sure.
Let me see, where is that? Oh, this is the dictionary. The dictionary is, while you install, like you can install from this golden disk here. Then if not, then you can click on our web pages and to see. And once you install it like this, then let me try to turn it on. Yeah, it's on now. So if I have any questions or any words that I don't understand, then it will come out immediately. And just click 不可思议. Then
The dictionary actually will be integrated with the CBETA.
yes. So in here, that when I don't understand what does that mean, booker, then it shows out, and that from 30 then means may not or cannot, something like that. That's English here also.
So the dictionary and the translation in English for the word?
Not all the words, but most of the Buddhist terminologies. Then something for Jing Ju Tian. We have different kind of dictionary here also. So this is go directly with your text. I mean,
So any word you click is going to give a definition.
yes, just click it. Definitions, yeah. But some of them are not in the dictionary, but since I
Is there in the future the idea that to include all the word, a complete dictionary?
we have six dictionary in there. There's six dictionary in there. Oh. Yeah, it's inside the CBETA CD. But you have to download from our CBETA CD or from our website. We have two. And you can download from it's in the CD. Yeah, it is in the CD or on the website. So it depends on which one you choose. Oh, that's good. But
So,
that's the all pages, right?
this is the opening page.
Mm-hmm. But I think this is the old ones. Yeah, there's the new ones here.
There's a new one?
No, yeah, you click here, there's the new ones. Then, yeah, there's a new ones. So if you want to download, then you can download from here. And let me see. It's not here. Sorry. It's included in that. Let me show you. On the CD would be easier than. Just wait a minute. And I forgot the URL, so I have to look up from here.
It's possible to put in the
You can download pieces of it. You don't want, the whole thing is really big, but there is a way to get the Tripitaka right onto your iPad with a reader.
all the completely.
It's too much. You,
You need
the actual physical, you can, but it'll fill up your iPad if you do the whole thing. You don't want to carry it around.
Okay, it's not working.
But you can.
You can, theoretically you can, yeah.
Okay. This is very Maybe one day I'm gonna go back to my Chinese at this point. Because with
That's good. You need,
vocabulary
it inspires you, that's good.
vocabulary is really
Oh,
The toolbox is only in English.
it's stuck here. 哎，有没有我是你？你可以帮我找一下那个我们Golden Dick 的一个 web page。
有，他那边
有是吧
CD 上面有，你要传给大家吗？
对，现在我这边找不到，所以 So you have a link, right? Good. 我是没有我的，
需要一个没有。
我有没有？
有没有一个
How do I hear? No, I know my problem, so I had one pin here.
哦，要不然有时候我传在网上面。
Okay.
Very helpful.
Yeah, because it happens all the time. can start, right?
You want to
Yeah.
give them your message? Thank everyone.
Okay. Okay. Well, since it's practice time and discussion, and so we will end our webcast now. But if you are online, then thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please write to us, then we will try our best to answer you. Or in the future, if you have any questions in using CBETA CDs or all the text, then please write email to me or to us, then we will try our best to solve the problems. And thank you for using this CD. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
Can you give them the email address? Maybe type it on the screen?
Just, I don't know the email. You mean the CBETA's email?
Just if they have questions.
Yeah, let's, okay, thank you. I think it's, you can find the email from our web or use,
Service@cbeta.org.
yeah, that's right. Service, right?
Yeah, service@cbeta.
I never write to this, I don't know. So please write to us and we'll try our best to help.
So
thank you.
everybody who's joined us online, thank you so much. And we will let you know when we have the next program with Professor Du and or other similar events here at the monastery. So good night to those folks online.